Extracts from The Universal Tree and the Four Birds by Muhyiddin ibn Arabi. I've called this treatise Cosmic Unification in the presence of essential witnessing through the assembling of the human tree and the four spiritual birds. I've dedicated it to Abu al-Fawaris Sakhr ibn Sinan, master of the reins of generosity and eloquence. I seek help from God. He is my support and my assistance. Glory be to him. Discourse of the Universal Tree, described as the likeness. I am the universal tree of synthesis and likeness. I have deep roots, and my branches are lofty. The hand of the One planted me in the garden of eternity, protected from the vicissitudes of time. I have spirit and body. My fruit is gathered with no hand touching it. These fruits contain more sciences and knowledge than sound intellects and subtle hearts can bear. My leaves are raised couches. My fruits are not out of reach, nor yet forbidden. My center is the desired goal. My branches perpetually draw nigh and come down. Some come down to provide benefit and aid, while some draw nigh gradually to bestow favor. My constitution is like the celestial sphere in roundness, and my branches are homes to the winged spirits. My flowers are like the stars whose course engenders the minerals flowing in their bodies. I am the tree of light, speech, and the eye balm of Moses, upon whom be peace. Of directions, mine is the most excellent right-handed one. Of places, mine is the holy valley. Of times, mine is the instant. Of dwelling places, mine is the equator and the temperate climes. I have perpetuity, everlastingness, and felicity without misery. The fruits of my two gardens are near to hand, and my bough sways loftily, as if intoxicated. It bestows grace and tenderness on all the living creatures. My branches always offer frankincense to the spirits of the guarded tablets, and my foliage is a protection for them against the diurnal rays. My shade extends over those whom God envelops in his solicitude, and my wings are spread over the people of sainthood. The spirit winds blow on me from many different directions, and disarrange the order of my branches. From this entanglement one hears such melodious sounds. They enrapture the supreme intellects in the utmost heights, and set them running on the course inscribed upon their scroll. I am the music of wisdom that removes care through the beauty of its rhythmic song. I am the luminous light. Mine is the green carpet and the most resplendent round face. Assisted by the powers and ennobled by the One who is seated on the throne, I have become like prime matter, receiving all forms in the afterworld and the present one. I am not too narrow to bear anything. I am never apart from a faithful light that shines upon me. It consoles the one who leans upon me. I am the spreading shade, the clustered plantains, the intended meaning, the word of existence, the most noble of originated beings, the most transcendent of limited beings. My power is unsurpassable, my place most holy, my lamp most elevated. I am the source from which issue the lights, the synthesis of the divine words, the mine of secrets and wisdoms. Mine are the vast earth and the heavens. In my center are equivalence and straightness. Mine are the firmly rooted majesty, the splendor, the secret of the worlds and the exaltation. When thoughts betake themselves to my essence, the distance and the blinding cloud bewilder them. No one in the universe knows my existence, save one undelimited by praise. He disposes over and governs us. The choice is his. He does what he wills. Discourse of the Ring Dove. When the ringdove heard the universal tree's discourse, and the eternal knowledge it brought forth, she uttered a cry in the garden of her sanctity, declaring about herself, "When God wished to bring my creation into existence, he made me contemplate my own essence. He encircled my neck with the ring of splendor, and he gave me the lote tree of the limit as a dwelling place. He called to the eagle, assuring him that he would be preserved from punishment. The eagle, who was in the courtyard in front of his door, answered obediently, 'Your call is heard.' He told him, 'Now you are in exile, even though you remain in the locus of my proximity. I am not of your kind, so you must feel lonely. But in you is eye balm. Make her appear in reality. Enjoy her company and be cheered by her conversation, because familiarity with me is impossible, for I am mighty in power.' The eagle asked, 'How can something be manifested from me when my station is weakness and my power and might have no authority?' He answered him, 'Continue to call plaintively, and that very one will appear before you, face to face. This is the second harmony, and union through doubling.' The eagle obeyed. He doubled his plaint, and I appeared. The real called me, and I hastened. The eagle, however, had not understood what was happening, since he was preoccupied with the dower and my coming into existence from his loins. When he heard me respond to the divine call, he asked, 'What is this that has appeared?' As soon as he had seen me, he fell in love with me. The beauty God had surrounded me with made him mad with love. Passion made him groan with pain. 'I am burning, I am drowning.' He was like a nightingale, warbling his plaint, trying to heal his condition, but the burning only became more extensive and solace more impossible. I would not permit him to kiss me, although his cure was in lying with me and embracing me. The veils of doubt were raised, and from behind the pavilions of the unseen someone called, 'What is wrong with you that you don't regard her lineaments and the performance of her song? Why have you not looked upon her qualities and the marvels of her wisdom?' He called me to him. 'Here I am,' I responded. He commanded me to sit before him. He said, 'I was so inflamed with ardor at your form that I overlooked the knowledge of your spiritual qualities. The divine order has come that you make yourself known to me, and that a ray of your sunlight shine for me.' I said, 'God has brought me into existence from you, face to face, and he has made me manifest from your loins, following our inclination for one another. I emanate from your power, and am manifested through your form. God has entrusted me with the two realities, and has given me two subtle threads, one reality by which I know, and one reality by which I bring into existence what I wish by means of its occasion. One thread is attached to you. It is sent down to me when I desire you, and draws me to your presence. The second joins me to him, and is sent down to me when he calls me to him.' When he heard that a subtle thread extended from me to him, and having verified the realities of love, the eagle descended towards me along this thread. My essence mingled with his, my qualities disappeared into his, and we were absorbed in the pleasures of union, cheered by the attainment of harmony. The spiritual wedding took place. The two waters flowed together in the womb of the moment, which received them in virtue of that divine wisdom that bestows grace to some and accords misery to others. The lover recovered from his malady and found rest in a desire to answer the divine call. Wavering between two desires, he set in the two wests and rose in the two easts. When he had recovered from his suffering and had departed to his abode, I found in myself a fullness that I had never before known. The paths and roads to him were blocked. The divine thread moved, and I said, "Oh, my God, what is this that has befallen me?" He said, "Exhale, when you mention me, so that the word of my command may manifest from you." So I exhaled like one oppressed, and there was the Ankla, who filled my refuge with life. Ask the Ankla about herself, and she will tell you what God has deposited in her of his subtle graces, and what he has given to her of knowledge. I am the dove of oft-repeated praises. My dwelling is in the garden of spiritual meanings. I am an essence in the entities. I have nothing but dualities. They call me O Second, but I am not second. Everything in creation ends up at my existence. I come after the one whose essence is too high for sight. My authority is useful to those most far and near. I have no likeness save one whose nature is similar to mine. Reproach me if you wish, for what my tongue brings forth. Beautiful realities descend upon threads towards the hearts that turn from the ornaments of the gardens in search of the one who transcends the vicissitudes of time. He is the singular, the exalted. No second shares his authority. He is the one who elected me. He is the one who selected me. He has placed me in equilibrium between pot and potter. I banish every distant one and draw each near one closer. I befriend every friend, and I afflict all the wretched. When I swoop down low, it is with the spirit of diffusing, and when I rise high above, bodily constitutions dissolve. It is I who confer sense, and leave the inhabited places deserted. Discourse of the Royal Eagle. When the eagle heard what the ringdove had mentioned, and what she had related about the certain sciences, he said, "What she has affirmed is true. She has disclosed to you all the sciences she encompasses." I said to him, "Fly through the air of your eloquence, and tell us clearly about your nature." The throne of the eagle shook. He flapped his wings joyfully and said, "I am the eagle. To me belong the most elevated station, beauty, and the most brilliant shining light. I carry out everything according to its determined rank, on this world's shores, but my power is more inaccessible. I am his sublime effusion, the light of his existence. I am he who summons existence, and it obeys. I am the one who never ceases to be the handful of my Creator, the instrument of his open-handedness. The realities hurry toward me to seek their fill. I give to and withhold from whomever I wish. If I approach, the beauty of his being dazzles me. If I retreat, his most magnificent splendor summons me. Approach confers upon me a pleasing wisdom, but it rends the heart of the High One. Distance invests me with an apportioned command, whose light illuminates their borders. When I am distant, I am the commander. My misery is in my command, and my felicity when it is removed. The most pleasing of my moments is when I see the essences of the new moons arising. I was still non-existent as an entity in one of the levels of creation when the divine solicitude came forth and made my existence the beginning. Having manifested himself to himself, my existence was prolonged in my contemplation. I received the supreme rank through the form, and the most secret part of my being became his throne. The divine, all-encompassing name sat itself down upon me. His two viziers, he who gives and he who withholds, and his two chamberlains, he who confers harm and he who confers good, stood at his two stirrups. When the sitting had taken place, and the other appeared, and the names mighty and sublime were given to me, The courtyard became filled. Subsistence and annihilation appeared. Just allotment and effusive plenty followed one another in alternating course, and expansiveness and contraction were firmly established. By the kingdom the king was confirmed, by the message the angel became manifest, and by the stars the sphere was set in motion. Then he called me to instruct me with the language of arbitration. Look into your essence, bringing together all that delights you. When I began to look and could distinguish between those that required precedence and those that required contemplation, I laid down the different laws and divided the lights between merits and graces. I said to those enraptured spirits whom I surveyed, adhere to the enrapturing presence. And I said to the subjected spirits whom I surveyed, adhere to the subjecting stations. And I said to the governing spirits whom I surveyed, adhere to the governed bodies. Each of these departed to seek its way station in order to contemplate there the one who had caused them to descend. I had already seen the ring-dove, pregnant with the strange ankla, but in dividing up the way stations, I had neglected the one who shares my way station. I am the knowledge of creation concealed in the cloak of the divine inviolability. A band of philosophers invented lies about me, and a gang of noblemen tried to capture me. They set up the fowler's net of their thoughts to hunt me, and used against me the very means that I myself had provided them with in order to gain from my toil. And when their spiritual aspirations were sufficient to grasp me in their fowler's net of thought, there fell into it an eagle with my form from the country of illusion. They said, "This is the clear truth." Would that they knew that the truth is not clear to them, and never will be. Knowledge of me and my existence depends upon what is granted as a gift, or recompensed for merit. Satan incited them to doubt, and they imagined that they had alighted at the summit when their station was the low plains. They mistook anteriority for eternity, declaring me eternal, and that my existence did not stem from non-existence. I abandoned them to their confusion, like meat on the butcher's block. Those who commit an injustice to the divine command must be oppressed. I am free from what they attribute to me, and an unbeliever in what they set up. For God, may his glory be magnified, was from all eternity, while I was under the decree of non-existence. Then he brought me into existence from non-existence through a pre-eternal precedence, and my essence became manifest. He illuminated my existence with his knowledge, and entrusted me with poverty and weakness, turning me away from might and glory. I am the humble one who has no glory, and the powerful one who does not cease to be weak. Discourse of the strange Anka. When the eagle completed his discourse and finished explaining his station, the Anka began to speak clearly about her existence and spoke strangely about the high rank of her limit. She said, "I am the strange Anka. My dwelling is forever in the west, in the middle station, on the banks of the surrounding sea. Glory embraces me on two sides, without my entity ever becoming manifest at all. I am the one who has no existent entity, the one who lacks no property. Strange Anka, they've come to call me. Although the door of my existence is sealed, the merciful has not made my mention in vain. But it has to do with a meaning whose secret must be sought. It is that I am the one who bestows gnosis to their innermost beings. Our straight path stretches on, and the wayfarers are each at the levels of their light. The greatest one is he whose light is sheer detachment. Limits derive from me, and upon me existence depends. One hears mention of me, but I am invisible, and the report of me is not one that can be declared a lie. I am the strange one, the Anka. My mother is the ringdove, and my father the royal eagle. My son is the jet-black crow. I am the element of light and darkness, the place of trust and suspicion. I do not receive the unqualified light, for it is my contrary. I am unacquainted with knowledge, for I cannot produce or reproduce. Everyone who praises me is far from understanding me, subdued by the Sultan of imagination. I have no might in which to seek protection. The bodily frames of superior and inferior creation trace their origin to me. I am the reality that has no character because of the vastness that I have. I clothe every condition with either happiness or misery. I am capable of bearing any form. I have no rank in any known form, but I have received the gift of transmitting the sciences, although I am no knower, and of bestowing determinations, although I am no judge. Nothing can be manifested that I am not in, but no seeker can attain it as something grasped or perceived in its entirety. I am of very great value in the eyes of those who realize the truth. I wander through the gathering of those with bowed heads. Thus I have explained my state and have made manifest what is true and what is impossible about myself. Discourse of the jet-black crow. The crow arose and said, I am the body of lights and the bearer of the receptacle of secrets, the receptacle of quality and quantity, and the cause of joy and sorrow. I am the leader who is led. Sense and sensible are mine, and through me appear the traces of existence. From me arises the world of material bodies. I am the source of figures, and likenesses are struck according to the levels of my form. I am the lamp and the winds. I am the chain against the pebbles and the wing. I am the sea whose waves constantly strike one another. I am of the numbers, the singular among counted numbers and its pair. My width is the abode of the charismatic gifts of his friends, and my depth is the abode of abuse to his enemies. My height has not ceased to be face to face with his essence, through eternity without beginning and end, ever since I was brought into existence. I am the alembic of wisdom, the music of melody, and the one who brings together the realities of the words. In directing oneself toward me, one reaches the limit, and those who are endowed with intelligence rely upon me. I am the most precious gift that has been bestowed, the final goal that has no end. For my sake some are accepted, and others rejected. I am those who are rolled and held in his right hand, and I am enclosed in the grasp of the evident truth. The real summoned me into his presence, and I came. He called me to his knowledge, and I readily responded. I am the form of the celestial sphere, and the place of royalty. Upon me he established the throne, and I was given the name, place where it was established. I am the subsequent, who is not overtaken, just as the eagle is the precedent, who is not outstripped. He is the first, and I am the last. His is the non-manifest dimension, and mine is the manifest one. Existence has been divided between myself and him. I manifest his might and his creation, while his judgment depends on me. My knowledge flows in him, and his knowledge flows in me. When its bestower offers it, it is for our benefit, and when I acquire it, he thanks me for increasing it even more. Some, alleging to be endowed with unshakable reason, made their claim and imposed their dubious judgment. They showered me with unseemly derision, and divested me of the robe of seemly praise. But the evil consequences of their actions will turn against them, and their mocking will encompass them when, in the depths of my hell, they will call for help and be answered, Begone therein, and speak not unto me. While in the breadth of my paradise, those who praised me well will make merry with their spouses in a garden made joyful. The law has already praised me, so what do I care? The received text has made clear my rank, so why say more? I am, with respect to my Lord, a wisdom for one who sees me, for I am the secret whose nature was fashioned without fingertips. My Creator ordered everything within himself when he constructed me, for I am a rock, and from me the spiritual meanings splash. Together with the superior beings, we are like contesting racehorses. Yet I am one who conceals himself modestly from view. I am the one who answered my Lord obediently when he summoned me. He who, because of time's vicissitudes, sees my existence like the heart of Moses' mother, empty of spiritual meanings, is completely void of the verities of explanation. I am the source of habitations and the foundation of songs. I am the secret of an imam, a noble one, high in place, whose knowledge is the most perfect knowledge, and whose rank is the greatest rank. He fell in love with me when he saw me in the enclosures of the gardens. I do not name him, for I fear the spearhead's sharpness. But he who understands my riddle is Sakr ibn Sinan, the one who possesses the most generous hand, and the one who is most steadfast in combat. Mother, grandmother, grandfather, and I, the spiritual meanings of our existence derive from God, timelessly, like what becomes visible to the eye in the air brightened with lightning. O Sakr ibn Sinan, I have explained to you some of the stations of the sources of the creatures, the universal human being, the first intellect, the unique soul, prime matter, and universal body. Investigate them like an intelligent person who seeks the salvation of their soul. Peace be upon its author and